Hello everyone, Anthony here. Dog in the background. But today we will be reading Jeff the Killer's Creepypasta, just if you don't know it. The link is a creepypasta.com. Well, it's not really the link, but so we are going to read the story before the creepypasta. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story.
I
had a bad dream, and I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before. I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled through. Simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in a little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains, were a pair of two eyes. These weren't just regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. Then I saw his mouth, a long, ponderous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said a simple phrase, but said in a way only a madman could speak. He said, "Go to sleep." I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police. They drove into a parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash, like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked out. It seemed to vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing. I will never forget that face, those cold eyes, and that psychotic smile. They will never leave my head. The police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in the story, please contact your local police department. Now this is the actual story. Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be the best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Louie couldn't complain though. A new, better house was not to love. As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. Hello, she said. I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and introduce my son. She turns around and calls her son over. Billy, these are our new neighbors. Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. Well, said Jeff's mom, I'm Margaret, and this is my husband, Peter, and my two sons, Jeff and Louie. They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said they would love to. When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went up to his mom. Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party if you haven't noticed I'm not some dumb kid? Jeff, said his mother, we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now, we're going to that party, and that's final. Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mum said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at the ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much pain, but a weird feeling he dismissed. It was just such some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and get ready for school. The next day, Jeff walked down to get breakfast and get ready for school, and got ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. The time it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Louis finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. Hey, what the hell? The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. The kid seemed about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He was a Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans. Well, it looks like we got some new meat. Suddenly 2 other kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other was huge. Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith. Jeff and Louis looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. They looked over at a fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't even exercised since he was crawling. And I said the first kid, I'm Andy. Now for all the kids in the neighborhood, there is a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift. Louis stood up, ready to punch the lights out of this kid's eyes, when one of his friends pulled out a knife on him. Tusk.
Well, I didn't get it.
Hoped you would have been more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Louis and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again. Now it was truly strong, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Leo gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. Listen here, you little punk. Give me back my bro's wallet or else. Randy put the wallet back in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. Oh, and what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed to Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed to him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. Louis could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. Jeff, how'd you... That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing. So they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Louis made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Louis just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got the feeling, he felt powerful. He felt how powerful it was. The urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt a strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop, and how now he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore. He felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said in a somewhat Eunice voice, it was a wonderful day. Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door. His mother looking back at him with an angry look. Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids. That it wasn't regular fighting, and they were stabbed, son. Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Leo. Son, said one of the cops, we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now, what does that tell us? Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Leo had been attacked, but then there was no proof it was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing because truth be told they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Leo. Son, call your brother. Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids. Sir, it was me. It was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Leo tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me. The cop looked at his part and they both nod. Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie. Wait, says Leo. They all looked up at him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them at Louis. Oh, right. Louis. It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it. He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he was in the struggle. Son, just put the knife down, said the officer. Leo held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. Son, oh wait. No, Leo, it was me. I did it. Jeff had tears running down his face. Huh, poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away. The police led Leo to a patrol car. Leo, tell them it was me. Tell them. I was the one who beat up those kids. Jeff pulled her hands on his shoulders. Jeff, please, you don't have to lie. We know it's Leo. You can stop. Jeff watched helplessly as the cop car speeds off, with Leo inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Sorry guys, that's all we can do for this video. So, like, comment, and subscribe if you want.
You know you can do more.
Yeah, sorry for noise in the background before, but Ali was part of this video and so was her mom, so subscribe to her channel. So bye, have a wonderful time. Peace out. And sweet talks.
Bye.
Bye.